All this work that we're doing, brothers, for this ministry, eventually is going to pay off. You better believe it, man. It's going to pay off like you'll never believe, okay? And by the way, we're the highest value male on this planet. The men of the Lord, the men of this truth, the hopeful elect of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the highest value male there is.
Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, in peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And what I want to get into, all right, today, was an interview, all right, between Scott Ritter, okay, and George Galloway, and pretty interesting, man. And what it shows is that the small hats, are being called out. This narrative, them being able to play the victim, has ran its course, all right, and the Lord, is causing all things to be exposed, all right, in these times. You have the Russian icons, all right, being released, showing, that the biblical Israelites were dark-skinned people, all right. You have, Israelites, teaching the truth, okay, the Bible, the fact, that the so-called white man is being associated with an Edomite. Well, this is all the Lord's doing. Okay, matter of fact, let's start here, and we'll get into the video. All right, let's go into the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. All right, verse 14. It says, "For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, as the waters cover the sea." All right, so the knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, okay, is becoming the main talking points in the earth. True wisdom. For the longest it was only folly, deception, these false religions. All right, plantation Christianity had a stronghold, for a long time. All right, people was into Islam and all this, Pan-Africanism and Egyptology, but now, all right, the true knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is taking a foothold in the earth. Okay, and now the prophecies, that we have been speaking, beginning with our apostles and elders and their elders, for decades. Those men, all right, those men who the Lord, established, okay, as the leaders, okay, in Israel, have been proclaiming the same thing for decades, and we have come into their labors and we're echoing the same thing according to the will and the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And now these things are coming to pass. Okay, so I want to get to this interview with Scott Ritter and George Galloway. Pretty good interview, and we'll play the beginning of it, probably about a few minutes. We'll just let it run. But he said some things, and these are the new talking points in the earth. This is a new narrative in the earth, and it's a narrative of truth.
I'm glad to say he's going to be joining us every Wednesday night, as long as this emergency lasts, Scott. But that might be a long time, mightn't it?
Well, unfortunately, yes. We don't see any pathway to peace.
We don't see any pathway to peace, okay? Because we're not in a time, okay, of peace. We prophetically, we're in a time, all right, of the third woe. Okay, Ecclesiastes 3 and 1, it says, "To everything there's a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven, a time to be born, all right, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up which is planted." And what's happening is this word is going out, all right. The righteous kingdom of Israel is being planted in the earth, and we're seeing the wicked kingdom of Esau, Edom, being plucked. Okay, this kingdom is dying. All right, and the kingdom of Israel is being born. All right, now let's jump down to the point. verse 8 says, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Okay, and we're in the time of war. Okay, because according to prophecy, Revelation 9, all right, and 12, one woe is past, and behold, there come two more woes hereafter. All right, and guess what? The second woe is past. So World War I is that one woe, and it's past. Okay, and behold, there come two woes more after. So there was two more woes prophesied, and one of them has already passed, World War II. So we in the time of the third woe. Okay, let's get that in Revelation. All right, Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past. All right, which that was the Second World War. Okay, in the 1940s. You see. And now we're in the time of the build-up of the third. It says, and behold, the third woe coming quickly, man. And this is where we at. Okay, that third woe which is coming quickly. Okay, we're gradually getting to that point of all-out war and direct conflict, all right, with these major nations, man. Okay, so let's let it play some more.
Way to peace. Logic dictates that there's many pathways to peace. But we seem to be in a world where illogic reigns supreme. Not just illogic. We live in a world where normal standards no longer apply. Moral compasses, the differences between right and wrong. You and I are of the same generation, and I listened to your outstanding monologue, and why I don't understand how people who have been put in a position of responsibility don't share your horror at what's happened. It doesn't matter where you stand on an issue politically. It matters where you stand on determining right versus wrong. There is no circumstance under which you can justify taking innocent civilians and medical staff out of a hospital, tie their hands behind their back, and execute them. There's no scenario whatsoever that can be painted as something that is justifiable. It must be condemned from the bottom of your heart, from the bottom of your soul. There's also no world in which we can justify continuing to fund a war that has already cost the nation we proclaim as our friend, Ukraine, 500,000 lives. What friend allows a friend to be led down the road to slaughter? It's not a friend indeed.
And the Western nations, all right, the Western powers are just using Ukraine as a human shield, all right, to Russia. Okay, absolutely slaughterhouse, and we're going to pay attention to, that ground, drying up, supposedly, at the beginning of summer, they're predicting June, July. All right, and we're going to keep an eye on that, man. Okay.
And I think we're seeing that the United Kingdom, the United States, and all of these European democracies that proclaim to be the epitome of, moral certitude stand for nothing. We are actually the opposite of what we proclaim. We have become the living manifestation of evil on this earth. And I don't say that easily because I am an American. I'm a proud American. I love my country. I love what we claim to stand for. And I am deeply saddened to see the United States and our mentor, the United Kingdom, headed down the path they currently are.
Amen to all that. Just as a sidebar, if you like, whilst it's true that little Schultz and little Macron and the other European midgets are going along with all of this, there is no doubt that it's an Anglo-Saxon driven affair, is it? What is peculiar about us that we love war, unjust war? How did we get here? We were once allies of the Soviet Union to crush fascism. Now we're funding fascism. How did we get here, Scott?
Well, and not to insult the British people, but I think we understand that during the Second World War, it was still the British Empire. And while Winston Churchill was absolutely heroic when he said he would fight them on the beaches and fight them in the towns and defeat the Nazi, the enemy. At the end of the day, he was defending empire, the British Empire, which committed many, many sins in the name of empire. And after the United States sought to dismantle the British Empire and the French Empire and the Dutch Empire, we replaced it with an American empire. And that's where we are today. We're committing the sins of empire. The British.
And that's prophetic, and this is why, understanding prophecy, reassures our faith, because everything lines up, directly with prophecy, So he said they replaced the French, empire and the British Empire with American empire, and you read that in Daniel, 7, and in 8, it says, and I considered the horns and beheld there came up among them a little horn, and that little horn is America, and the horn represents a power, it's pretty much an empire, man. It says, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and there was the Spanish, the British and the French, that was overtaken, by the American empire, funded and financed by the elites. It says, behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things, because it's through the American empire, that the planet Earth, is in complete rebellion, the masses, of the earth, especially in the West, are in rebellion. This empire has spoken great things against Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai in righteousness, man. This is the capital of anti-Messiah in the earth, man, here in America, man. So there's just a quick tidbit in prophecy and how it directly aligns up to everything that we see playing out real time.
We flipped the roles. America used to be a colony of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Today, the British people are, you are a colony of the United States. You can't exist.
The harlot that rides the beast. America, is on top. America's in control. America, is the dominant Edomite, power structure in the earth, man. And we see it dwindling, and we see, that is in the midst of an overthrow, But for decades, for several decades, America has been the dominant power structure of these Edomites, man. So he said America, used to be a colony of Britain, and now Britain is a colony of America, man. It's all prophetic.
Without us, you are nothing without us. You stand for nothing. You've allowed yourself to be so deeply subordinated to us that you are, in fact, one and the same, except you're not, because we don't view you as equals. To us, you're simply a colony that we will use and then dispose of, just like we're disposing of Ukraine, just like we'll dispose of everybody else. But this is about American empire. This is about sustaining American empire. And we treat the British like we treat the French, like we treat the Germans, like we treat everybody in Europe as subordinates who are there to do our bidding. We have basically put the French and the Germans in an untenable situation. They've been locked into bad policy. They have no other options, just like the British have no other options. I mean, they do. They could listen to you, but that's right now. That seems unlikely. The way your government has been created, the political and economic elites that back your government and my government, it's the same. It's all about money, the corruption of money, the corruption of power. We allow the lure of big homes, big cars, big bank accounts to cause us to turn a blind eye to what really matters, which is human beings, the human dignity, and an absolute necessity for us to run to the aid of humans who are suffering, but we're ignoring them. We've stifled their shouts. We've turned a blind eye to the horrific images that are coming out. I don't know, George. I'm as befuddled as you are on this one. It is deeply, deeply troubling and deeply disturbing.
Now let's start with Ukraine, if we may, Scott. You saw all the Ukrainian flags flying in the American Congress. The America Firsters put Ukraine first, and Israel first, and Taiwan first, and they robbed the American workers of their tax money and sent it to doomed wars and cheered about it and imagined that that would be a good look as they waved another country's flag on the floor of the United States Congress, waving goodbye to the best part of $100 billion extra dollars sent to these wars.
100 bill, all right, $100 billion, for war, all right, while there's tent cities, okay, in America, okay, cost of living, is unrealistic, in certain parts of America, okay, infrastructure is terrible, failure, you see, but they always have surplus and infinite amount of money, okay, when it comes to war. Okay, you see, and America, treats these EU nations like do boys, all right, and these small hats treat America like a do boy. Okay, and that's why the least of the flock is going to draw all these nations into this conflict, man. Okay, the true puppet master, all right, is these small hats, man, Amalek. Okay, that's why the Lord say you have war with Amalek, because Amalek is the head. Okay, the mastermind behind this beast system, man. Okay, so Lord say you have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Okay.
How did you see it?
Well, I mean, just that. This is the people's house. The United States Congress is sacred to the American people. It's the home of the implementation of the Constitution of the United States, that document that defines who we are and what we are as a people. It sets forth the principles and values of a nation. And so one would hope that when the American people elect a representative to go to the people's house, to the United States Congress, that they would behave accordingly. The sight of an American congressional representative waving the flag of Ukraine. And the reason why I raise my voice here is, it's one thing to say that we are allies. I could imagine if, the British royalty or a British senior politician visiting.
The American government is doing the bidding of the elites, all right? Point blank, period, okay? The American government does not serve its people, okay, but the interests of the elite bankers, all right? And that's why, they're waging, okay, a soft war on the American people, through inflation, okay, through the juice, okay, through the grocery store, okay, the things that you digest, okay, the things that, the smoke that they leave behind the airplanes, okay, everything is a war against the American people, man, okay.
United States, that maybe as a sign of solidarity we would waive stands that on May 20th the incumbent president Zelensky, his term expires. There was no presidential election this year, although the Constitution of Ukraine mandates one. He claims he hides behind the specter of war. The last I checked, the United States held presidential elections during the Civil War. Of it all. This conflict has never been about preserving Ukraine. This conflict has always been about sacrificing Ukraine. And that is the epitome of the sickness of the Ukrainian people, that they can't recognize this. They were never going to win this war. No one ever believed they were going to win this war. The sole purpose of this conflict was to bring harm to the Russian people, to the Russian nation, sacrificing Ukraine in the vain hope that Russia would be so wounded by this conflict that there would be domestic political unrest that could bring down the government of Vladimir Putin. That is a forlorn dream. It's not going to happen. Vladimir Putin is strong. He has just been reelected. Imagine that, reelected. We call Russia a dictatorship. They held a democratic election and the results are in. Vladimir Putin has been certified as the democratically elected president of Russia, unlike Zelensky. No, the Ukrainian people are dying by the droves. Look, the foreign minister of Ukraine, Kuleba, said it best. I think he finally had a wake-up call. He said there's no amount of military aid that can be sent to Ukraine at this juncture to reverse the tide of battle on the battlefield. The Russian advance cannot be stopped.
And that's prophecy, you know, as we read, you know, and we're going to keep bringing it out. All right. Because, hey, everything we hope for is based in prophecy. So just get straight to the point, because this is the Lord behind, all right, Russia, which is Gog and Magog. All right. This is a command. Okay. And we gotta remember, prophecies are full of commands of the Lord telling who to do what. This nation is going to do this. Even us prophesying, this is a command. I will cause, you know, the spirit of life, you know, to enter into them. That was a demand. The Lord don't make suggestions. Okay? Yahweh Shema Shah don't make suggestions. He makes commands. Okay, and everybody subjugate to the will. Ezekiel 38:4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords. Okay? This is a military campaign that the Lord is commanding Russia to do, man. So it's the Lord that's driving Russia to do what it's doing, man. Okay? Now, I want to get this, all right, because you see, you know, they keep bringing up all these, you know, you know, they keep bringing up what these small hats are doing, man. Okay? Because their attempt to play victim didn't work. Okay? And I want to read this in the NLT, Isaiah 32:6. It said, for fools speak foolishness and make evil plans. All right. I started 5, so lucky. Isaiah 32:5, it says, in that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes. Scoundrels will not be respected. For fools speak foolishness and make evil plans. They practice ungodliness and spread false teachings about the Lord. They deprive the hungry of food and give no water to the thirsty. Okay? And this is what we're seeing. Esau, hey, these devils are not being looked at as heroes, man. A scoundrel is a vile thing, a vile person. Okay? Now they're being looked at as vile on a global stage. Okay? And we're seeing them deprive, okay, people of food and aid. Okay? Verse 7 said, the smooth tricks of scoundrels are evil. They plot crooked schemes. And see, it's not only going to, you see, what they're doing over there in Gaza is just the beginning. And this was the point I want to make. If they're doing that to the Palestinians, what do you think they're going to do to the tribes in the Americas, man? Okay? Just to put that out there. If they're doing it, all right, to them, okay, which these devils just hate life, you know, what do you think they're going to bring to the tribes, man? Okay? When they start depriving the tribes of food, the same thing that we seen, all right, in Gaza is going to play out on a massive scale and a more violent scale here in America, man. Okay? It said the smooth tricks of scoundrels are evil. They plot crooked schemes. They lie to convict the poor, which, hey, they finna come with the persecution, okay, against us, man. We're the poor. Okay? Not that we're eating out of garbage cans, man, but hey, compared to these devils, these elites, okay, and the one thing, we're poor in power. We're deprived of power. Outside of Yahweh Shema Shah, we have no power. Okay? And it says, even when the cause of the poor is just, man, we have a just cause, man. And now you see everyone starting to sound like the prophets, man. Okay? And the talking points is against this devil and his wickedness, man. Okay? And the Lord gonna vindicate us, all right, in due season, man. Hey, he's gonna keep pushing in faith. Okay? So Lord will, you know, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified, you know, once again, give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the whole elect. Shalom.